Hello, everybody. Namaste. It's so nice to join you all. There have been a lot of requests and questions about what's happening, what's going on with Corona, how yoga looks at it, how we should be looking at life. What is that yogic message are there behind? Um, Welcome, everybody. If you have questions, please feel free to write your questions and I'll try to answer as much as I know. We are also live, not only on the Facebook, also on the YouTube. And feel free to write your questions on any of those places and I will see what can I do from myself. I'll try my best to answer your questions. The idea of doing the Facebook Live for coronavirus is because there is a huge kind of misconception. There is a huge kind of question related to what yoga actually can do for us during this we can say pandemic now going on. The one of the very important thing we need to understand in this whole video, please don't take anything I'm saying as a medical advice. Yeah, hello everybody. I see Valerie and I see Emily and Jeanette. I hope all of you can hear me well. So I'm not doing this to give you any kind of medical advice whatsoever because it's not my part. It is something which I think scientists and all kinds of health organizations, your local community, and everybody's doing really, really well there. They're giving you a complete overview of what's going on, what are the findings. Their scientists are really working hard on it to make sure that we get their advice. And when it comes to really yoga, there are two major questions that what is that we learn and what yoga is basically mentioning on these things or these kind of challenges in life. How the Indian life and culture actually also helping us to understand that what is that one can do. So a few things are very clear. We need to see that there is no, as such, as far as I know, there is no cure at the moment. There are scientists working really hard on it. It can take next 1 to 2 years before they have any kind of, as I say, uh, yeah, treatment as such will come out, which will take time. And this is just all what I overheard. So anything I'm saying which you think has an implication, please do cross-check it with the local authorities, with the WHO websites and stuff like that. But what I really think that here becomes Patanjali and yoga and yogic way of looking at these things is very important. One first very important one comes saucha. Saucha means the cleanliness. Now, if you look at the traditional Indian families, which is still there in some parts, some part became very modernized and they skip those steps, is that whenever a guest comes in Indian household, the basic ritual is the guest comes, you naturally do the salutation by doing namaste, which is again, I think, very amazing salutation, which basically accepting your own completeness and recognizing the completeness of your guest, and saluting that completeness in it. And in this I think in this time period when we shouldn't be touching people, I think namaste is one of the best thing. And I've also seen Prince Charles doing that too when he went there. So uh, and if you see somewhere people are how do you say, they are knocking their elbows or doing with the feet, which is funny. But I think namaste can be a very appropriate, and if you do with the spirit of respecting each other's completeness in who they are, what they are contributing in the world, I think that's very, very um, helpful in this environment. One thing we can definitely look at it once, when traditionally in India, when a guest comes, you start with a namaste, and then you provide them water right away. We give them water to wash their hands, to wash their feet, and wash their faces. This is also part of many, many rituals. So what's still available is that when people go after doing any kind of rituals, when they come back home, they get purified by giving these waters, and by making them wash their hands and feet and their face, and then they provide them towel, and you leave your shoes outside, and then that you enter. I must say that India is not really necessarily known for its cleanliness all around, but if you look at home, in any of the houses, like in my house also, we really pay a lot of attention that what kind of hands you're going to touch where. Um, so not only after being to the toilet, you have to really wash your hands really nicely, but even when you come from outside, even if you think your hands are completely clean, mom always say, before you even start thinking of anything, wash your hands. And socha, here comes the cleanliness inside you, cleanliness outside you. And if we pay enough attention to that cleanliness, you would see that we already have made coronavirus completely paused from spreading any further. And this is very, very important. Once the virus isn't there, I think people who have a strong immune system and all that will be able to fight much better than the people who have not so strong immune system. But one of the best way to do is keep your hands nicely washed and clean. You can, if you want, you can find one of the mantras while you're cleaning it. Instead of singing happy birthday, you can use that mantra while you are using soap. That needs to be minimum 20 seconds. um, this this alone can really help us beat the virus. This is something really, really important. Now, whatever the other precautions are doctor mentioning, I think we need to pay attention to them instead of panicking of any sort. There is no need to panic any sort. And this a fear in us is the best way to deal with it. Know the facts about it. Know that what is that I can do? What is my contribution? How can I make sure that this doesn't go further or it doesn't arrive to me? This is all we basically can do. For that, even washing your hands with the normal soap is enough. And if you have some kind of hand sanitizer and all that, would definitely help. Now, when you're doing yoga, when you're doing your practice, make sure your mats are clean. Make sure that you have taken shower, not only before, also after. All of this we anyway suggest. This is not just for the coronavirus. This is, we always suggest that you do your practice first with the shower, and afterwards also you do the shower as well. Now, um, there is another very big aspect which is now coming through, is people being at home, people being isolated or quarantined. And then I think in Italy, I just saw they have amazing thing to do there. Everybody comes in the balcony and they're playing music and they're singing. And we are human beings, we love community, we like to be connected. And specifically yoga community really likes to be always feeling that connection by doing yoga together, by singing together, by celebrating this life. Now, isolation as such, we need to really find and know the difference between being alone and loneliness. They are two totally different aspects here. And this is where we need to see that this time, when if you are isolated, let's say you're completely home alone, maybe you're in another place where you can't go out and can't be with your kids or your family, um, eh, remember that the journey of yoga is all about finding yourself. This is most probably been an opportunity where I can spend a quality time with myself and watch what is really happening, how I'm feeling, what kind of thoughts occurring. I get more time for meditation. Definitely, I would suggest that being a yogi, that basically means that if you tend to wake up every day at 5 or 6 o'clock, maybe now because you're at home, you can do it at 7:30, but keep your routine as it is. The routine somehow is a very, very important things to keep your mind pacified. The more you the more you would stay lazy and not get involved in your routine life, your mind will get more restless, and restless mind will build up stories, and every story we believe would have its repercussions. So this is one of the reasons that you should have your daily schedule, and make a schedule and follow it. And this is something is comes also more or less under saucha. Saucha means, how do you keep your mind clean? You keep your mind clean by having a systematic a routine where you can keep yourself clean. Now, other very, very important and beautiful aspect of it, which I teach quite a bit in Anthasta Yoga as well, is pratyahara. Pratyahara is basically where you withdraw your senses. Now you can say this is the nature's way of teaching us. We have trained ourselves so much going out there, we are very little aware of what is going in here. And out there is nothing more than the reflection of in here. Out there is the projection of what is going on in here. And pratyahara is about, for a moment I will withdraw all my senses, I go in there, I become aware of what is that I'm driven for, what sets my undercurrent, what direction my body, my mind is taking me. And this is where you can completely use the pratyahara. Pratyahara means all my five senses are directed in direction I would like them to go. And this is one of the most difficult process in all of them. This might also incline us to entertain ourselves all the time. You know, how much of videos we can watch, how much of radios we can listen to. And you would see the messages of people getting worried or panicky about it. You will have constantly coming in, which will have a repercussion impact on you. So pratyahara is about taking your time and space and withdrawing your senses. And you can do all of them together at the same time, but I would suggest that start practicing with one of them. One can be that today I'm going to practice with keeping my eyes closed for next 10 minutes. And then I'm just going to, all I'm doing is any visual inputs, I'm producing it. You know, you can also use the blindfold if that's what you need. Um, um, Keeping even your sounds kind of fast on the sounds. How would it be that if I quieten all the sounds around me for a few minutes, just for a few minutes? This is not really, I'm completely taking you away. It is just for momentarily, I just block all the sounds. So you can use earplugs if that's what you need. And when you're comfortable with that, and it doesn't kind of makes you restless, please go nice and kind on yourself. See how much your senses are able to do. This is where you can block your eyes and ears at the same time. Then pay attention to what kind of food you desire. What kind of, is this a kind of food which will help you to boost your immune system? Because when you're at home and you're not so busy at your work, what will happen is that you would see the temptations will rise of what kind of food I should be eating. So pay attention what kind of food which really increases your vitality, your immune system. um, you can, I would not go for drastic food changes, but definitely, because if you're at home and quarantine completely, that also means you're doing physically less. So eat food which doesn't have too much of sugar content in it. Sugar is one of the things which basically makes your system more attracted to all kinds of difficulties and challenges. You will have a sudden surge of energy, and when energies are down, you would also see the low energy tend to give us more negative kind of thinking. You would worry more, and if you can't think of anything else, you would think maybe it's because of the coronavirus. And this is where I would highly suggest that pay attention to what can increase your food. So, few things I can think of is that if you do have a sore throat and things like that, in naturopathy and in India, we also often do always drink lukewarm water. You can do it with the ginger, lemon, and honey, which not only going to improve your voice quality, it is also going to uh, it is also going to kind of help you. The ginger will help you, give you that heat you really need. The citrus will give you all the vitamins you basically need to fight any kind of different viruses. But we shouldn't worry too much about viruses and bacteria. We should also know that more than 50% of our body is made up everything else than what you see you. They're more than more, or we are, if you say complete human cells in the body is only 48%, we are made of pure human cells, but everything else is made of everything else. So you're not just one person, you're a walking universe in there, which needs a perfect harmony inside. So pay attention to what are the things which basically can help me to to improve my immune system, and that your system will tell you the things which makes you feel heavy and sluggish. Most probably you should try and avoid them. The things which are fresh, you can have juices, you can have different kinds of smoothies you can make. You can have sprouts. It's a very big thing, sprouts. Sprouts are known as pre-digested food. So this is where in pratyahara that I'm directing my temptation to where I think which will help me and support me. Okay. Then pratyahara comes on the skin. Any irritation you have on your skin, or any kind of how do you say, dirt, or any kind of restlessness you have on the skin, pay attention to it. Keep it clean and wash. Take shower on a regular basis, and just staying in that space will give you an idea what pratyahara is about. Pratyahara sometimes taken is very extreme, like, okay, you're not supposed to see things, you're not supposed to hear things, you're not supposed to taste things, or you're not supposed to say things. None of that sort. Don't be so extreme. Just be kind and see which one of them I can start developing now. So if you've been looking at your computer, because I know some of you are going to be working from home, other than I just see the comment that a pharmacist are going to continue working, and we are very, very thankful for your services there. And nevertheless, I'm sure there are things you're supposed to watch that you do not get infected. And we are very, very grateful to the people like banks, the pharmacy, the supermarket, which is still going to remain open. They are open. And very, very grateful for the people who are still going out there. And we most probably are the lucky ones who are staying home and keeping ourselves safe, keeping ourselves sane. And in that sanity, also make sure that you have your routine. In that routine, also have a yoga routine. It doesn't matter if you're not going to the yoga studio. Anyway, when you come to my classes, I always say, in the classes, we come to do yoga, to understand and to motivate ourselves, to get motivated by other people, how they are doing. Listening to your yoga teacher, most probably there are some beautiful words they are saying which will make sense to you. You have done yoga for some times. If not, you can still look online. Loads of things are available on YouTube. And make a really intimate private practice of your own. And this will keep you not only calm, it'll keep you healthy. It'll keep you grounded. And this is something really, really, really important for us. And in India, you would see the isolation or quarantine for yogi or for a monk is most desired things. You and me might get restless about being quarantined and isolated, but Buddhist monk or other monks, yogis, would consider this is an opportunity where you have been provided a safe house and you can sit there and meditate. Nobody's going to bug you, you're not going to bug anybody, and do your practice. Also keep doing some bits of your work too, because continue doing your work, also your contribution to the universe, which will give you purpose in life. So we need to keep that in mind while we are doing this. So even though I see myself doing a different thing than I would do routine wise. I live very close to the woods. There are not that many people, so I go for walks outside as well. This is also part of the routine. I make sure that every day I'm at least twice out. And thank God I have a dog. So she's very happy that when I take her out as well. And we do go out. So have those kinds of routine, but definitely you need to listen to the regional health, um, how do you say, authorities. What are they saying? Look at that. They have given you guidelines, like not going to the public places. Some places they ask you to, anything you can avoid in gatherings, avoid that. Now, Anjali is asking that I should tell something about dharma as a yoga teacher. Dharma as a yoga teacher, I think it all starts here. I i start my journey here. I find my way. I know what is my role in life. And once I'm in connection with that, it will automatically will give me an idea how can I contribute in my yogic community. Yoga teachers, now we are, very interestingly, we are so connected through the social media. Look at that, how many of you are online, both on YouTube and in the Facebook. um, Share your knowledge there. Don't hesitate, of don't try to be perfect. Everything you do is perfect. Share your knowledge with others and see of yoga live. You could just going to do some of your sun salutations, some going to do standing stretches. What can you do when you do? But remember one thing: when you, if God forbid, if you have a flu, doesn't matter what reason you have that flu like symptoms, and you're feeling sick, you have a bodily pains and stuff like that, please don't do too much of yoga. You can do your meditation, no breathing, no pranayamas. And for yoga teachers, I would say one thing for sure: please avoid giving any kind of medical advice. I would rather say, um, inform yourself. Go to, there are so many resources now you can find online, from WHO coronavirus page to your local authorities in local languages, and very practical information. They have given very simple things like washing your hand for 20 seconds. So uh, it's it's something we should not take it as a fear. It's something we need to take it as more of being aware. If we take it from fear, is basically when we figured out the fire, we know that it burns. So because you don't want to be fearful doesn't mean that you need to put your hand in fire. You know that if it's hot, I still need fire, I still need to use continue and making my food and create my medicines, whatever else we need to use that fire for. I do it with the precautions. I use gloves, I use cloth, I reduce or increase the heat. And the same thing here, there's no need, and no need to worry about the fear. Should not be the thing, should be driving you. What you would be doing is most probably getting more aware that how can I keep myself clean? How do I have my routine? How do I make sure that I'm maintaining my sanity by doing a daily routine? And if you are able to go, if you're blessed like me that you have woods next to you, there are hardly any people outside there. I do go. I avoid going to the public places for the moment. um, and then if you want to do your yoga practice, find out online. There are loads of different kinds of yoga practices are there. Only if you do not have any kind of symptoms of flu or fever. If you have fever, you do not do any physical yoga. At that time, you basically meditate, pay attention, use your pratyahara, teach your senses. How can I turn them inwards? This is a moment. Now, people who are with the family, this is a perfect moment. You can take it as a game, you can take it as an exercise. That how would it be that if I listen what's happening? How would it be that if I put down my computers and my phone and my other devices away, and you are in a small house with two people, three people, how would it be to listen to them? This is something very, very interesting. Eyes has the flap. You can close them anytime you like. And if you look at somebody more than 3 seconds, it's considered to be infringing in their private space. But ears, they don't have a flap on it. Ears are open, ears are available. And when you give somebody your eyes, unless they are your loved ones and they give you that permission to go for and to admire and to see and visualize, it's okay. But ears are really amazing. When you give your ears to somebody, and it doesn't matter whether you know them or not, the moment you give them an ear without having any of the filter and preconception, you would see that you are able to hear things which otherwise are not possible. In our busy life, I think this is the universe time to give us an idea that how you can slow yourself down. I think climate change has been asking for a long time that we should slow down, we should slow down. Maybe, who knows, maybe this is a nature's way of helping us slow down. Maybe this is nature's way of telling us that, how it is to have skies free of any noise and free of any planes. And this is something really, really important for us to observe. This is also most probably a time for us to see that how can I contribute in this world without uh, taking up more resources, without taking from nature all the time. This is the time most probably I also need to listen to myself. I need to listen to what is the universe is telling me right now. What are the omens and signals I'm getting from universe right now? This is absolutely no time to panic of any sort. And I wish you all the best. I give you everybody a big namaste from my side. And inshallah, soon this thing will be over, and then definitely we'll be able to give hugs to each other. And but whether we can do hugs or not, the love is still there, the blessings are still there. And I'm so glad that you took out time to spend time with us. And I'm so thankful for all of you to joining me on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live. I'm still here in case you have any questions. Feel free. You can send me later on a Facebook message, or I'm happy if you send me an email, and I will try my level best to give you whatever that I can do from this point of view. And yoga teachers, hang in there, help your community, help them make their routine, give them small schedules of like 5 minutes classes, 10 minutes classes. Not only the ones who are yoga teachers, already the ones who are becoming yoga teacher. If you come up with some creative ideas, spread that around. All it needs, don't try to make it perfect. All it needs your presence. All it needs that you're there and you're taking care of everybody. I'm sending you a big hug, everybody. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best. And hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.